Can hear me. This roof has blown off. Yeah, it is Talking Buccaneers with me, Fumane, and these are your Buccaneers here at Orlando Stadium. Just festival of an atmosphere after Orlando Pirates 2, Amazulu 1, unfortunately, late goal for them. Yeah, I mean, not that most of us needed, but if any of you needed convincing, these are the title challenging Bucks that we've been talking about. They came here tonight, they did the business, and you know, this place is already rocking when Orlando Pirates is towards the end of the season going after the second spot. But when Orlando Pirates feels like it's going for the first spot, I'm telling you, it's crazy out here. You know, beautiful performance, crazy performance. I think most of the players didn't put foot wrong. It's one of those episodes where it feels like if I talk about the one player, it's unfair on the other, because solid 7 out of 10s from almost everyone on the pitch today, except a couple who I would say 9 out of 10 displays. I mean, I'll get to Mohau Nkota. You don't need me to dwell too much on him, but I'll come to him. But yeah, crazy atmosphere. You know something? You can already feel the belief with Orlando Pirates fans, and I know there's going to be some pockets who are going to say, ish, these loud Pirates fans have started talking about, you know, title challenge after just 5 games. By the way, in 20 years, I think even 21 years, hasn't been done before. Since 20 years ago, 5 games in a row. So if you need some belief, if still the performances don't convince you, then those things maybe will. It just seems like things are setting up for us, guys, to challenge, and I'm too excited to hide it. And yeah, it's just 5 games. Of course, it's just 5 games, but these 5 games are going to play a huge role. This is the basis that we're always asking for. Give yourself a fighting chance. After 5 games, be in the challenge, be in the conversation. And we've done the job. Friday night football at Orlando Stadium, I feel like someone at the PSL was just sabotaging Amazulu. How can you bring them out here on a Friday night to come and play us? But yeah, they found out another victim of, you know, what do the kids say on Twitter? Mob justice football, another victim, Atazwane and Vilarazi. Unfortunately for them, they came with their tactics, but tactics can only go so far. Yeah, this is at Escotini. But yeah, anyway, crazy performance from Mohau Nkota. Maybe to start there, you know, one of the things that I wrote during the game, because I just want to be somewhat entertaining for you, is that the breadwinner wasn't there, Moses wasn't there, right? And there's a lot of talk I've seen on social media just talking about, I feel like I'm missing out on the action out here. So there are the players there just sort of celebrating, but I'll get to that. Anyway, Moses wasn't here, the breadwinner, Munapule Saleng, but you know what? Joshua is doing just all right in succeeding him. He's carrying on with the baton. He's definitely running the race. In fact, he's sprinting. Incredible first goal by Mohau Nkota. Yeah, I think, you know something, this is something that I'm thinking with Mohau Nkota. I of course love the fact that he can finish. I love the fact that he can dribble. But towards the end of the game, something I'm thinking, which a lot of people are going to knock, and maybe even knock me for complimenting things like that. But something I love in a player who's playing in that position, you obviously see him try and complete his hat-trick, and he's starting to get a bit greedy. He's smelling the goal. A couple of opportunities where I thought he would have slid in to score his goal after a very matured performance with beautiful assist to Mohau Nkota for the second goal, but also I wonder who gets the assist after Mohau Nkota scores that wonder of a goal. Someone must get an assist, even though Mohau Nkota did such a fantastic job in his finish. But yeah, as I was saying, don't mind me getting carried away. It's the emotions. I'm definitely very excited. My thing with Nkota is that, you know, I love to see in my front three players a bit of greediness, a bit of desire to want to score, to not be satisfied with 2 goals. Mohau Nkota, that's what it's going to take. If you're not satisfied with 2 goals and you want to get the 3rd, you want to get the 4th, that's what we need. Especially when we're playing with Evidence Makgopa, who, another one, solid display, great movement. You see we're a bit of a different team with Mabasa playing up front, but I'm not going to get in that conversation today. But yeah, when we're playing with Makgopa, then you're going to need Mufukeng and Mohau Nkota on the right to be the ones that are going to run into those spaces that Makgopa is going to vacate, definitely. And you need them to be that goal threat for us. And shout out to the, you know, to the 2000s. They are doing big man things out here. They're doing grown man things out here. You know, it's crazy to think that you know, you've got on one side you've got a 20-year-old, on the other you've got a 19-year-old, and yet such a mature display from both of them. I love it for Mohau Nkota. Obviously, he's not going to produce this kind of display every week, but the bar is set high. But after saying all of that, you know what is the most interesting thing or most exciting thing actually for me to see regarding Mohau Nkota is that he obviously goes, and you guys will have watched on television. I saba well to be you right now because you will have heard the interview with Mohau Nkota. I need to get home and watch it and hear what he says. But one thing you will saba well to be in my position, you will have not seen is that as they sort of set up that banner where Mohau Nkota goes to stand and he does his interview, to see the youth, well, the academy kids, standing there watching Mohau Nkota, who I believe they will have seen in academy football very sort of close to them for a while, and now to see him playing out here, collecting a Man of the Match award after a well-deserving display from him. I love those sort of things because I remember being a kid, is that you need something that makes you feel close to it. And yeah, I bet you Tugu Makanya is going to be talking to his team and saying, hey, look, this is where you can go. And yeah, I'm one who's very passionate about youth football, for one, and I love it when there's a sort of pathway that seems like it's attainable. Shout out to Mufukeng for creating that pathway of late, but of course there's people like you know, James Munyani and others that preceded them before, Lyle Foster doing it abroad for himself and for the country. But yeah, I love those sort of things. I hope you can still see me. It's a bit dark. Maybe let me get this angle. Yeah, I'm very excited. Great display by my mighty Buccaneers. I mean, obviously festival atmosphere. I wish I was over there right now. Those are, for those of you that haven't been to the stadium, by the way, those touchline fans, yeah, take a bow, touchline fans. You guys do such a great job. But anyway, back to the game. Sort of want to point out a few things. You know, sad to see, I would say, the best right back in the country at the moment go off injured. I know, another crazy statement, but yeah, best right back in the country go off injured in Dino van Rooyen. But if that means we see the best left back in the country come back on the pitch in Paseka Mako, I'm not mad. Great for us to see Paseka Mako on the pitch. You should have heard you might have heard them on television, I don't know. You guys can tell us. But for some of us, the cheers around here were insane. So actually, if you can't tell already, I'm at like the upper level of the stadium, which gives me a great view of the pitch. I can sort of see, you know, everything in relation to the other. You can almost see the whole system working with each other. And I must tell you guys, it's a wonderful bit of work that is happening here. When Jose Rivero said we are cooking, he was talking about this. I know it's like, it wasn't like one of those 4-0 or 7. We've seen a 7-1. We've seen crazy score lines. But this is one of those ones where you felt like except towards the very end, of course, you know, in the very last minutes of the game. Yeah, we got a bit of a scare from Amazulu, but nothing really that hectic. But it's one of those displays where you felt throughout that, you know, we're utterly dominant. The passing around is insane. It feels assured. It feels like we're very comfortable resting on the football. We look like when we are keeping it, it's not rushed. It looks like we are tiring them, and we're going to stay on it for a very long while. So incredible display. You know, we'll have seen a couple of guys. I feel like someone is whistling at me, but anyway, we'll have seen Ndabaithetho and Ndlondlo come on. Great for him to come on. I love when other players feel a part of the squad, because at some point in the season they're going to be needed. He didn't put foot wrong, you know, Ndabaithetho and Ndlondlo. I don't want to be too harsh on him, but most things that he did, like they were very good. I think he kept the ball very well, except he almost suffered a Ndlondlo scare, which you always fear for. And I think that's one of those things he's gotta tighten up a little bit more, man. Like, you can't be losing the ball in the center of the pitch. But most things, 9 out of 10 of the times that Ndlondlo was on the ball, fantastic, keeping the ball for us, you know, replacing Talent Mbata, who does well in receiving it as the first one in that midfield, and then circulating it. Don't mind me moving around. It's because the lighting seems to get a bit crazy. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, not setting foot wrong a lot. Ndabaithetho and Ndlondlo, passing it back, keeping the ball in circulation. Yeah, as I'm looking down there, I see Rebkhile Mofokeng, or maybe that's Mohau Nkota, taking a few selfies with the kids. And yeah, that's sort of what I'm talking about, is that I know what it feels like to be a kid. I was here when the stadium opened 2008. Well, the reopening of the stadium, and that was sort of like us with Tekomdise, and now a grown man has just actually gave Mohau Nkota his baby. I hope that picture actually makes the rounds on social media. Anyway, sorry, I'm distracted. Back to Ndlondlo. Yeah, when you get these appearances, man, you gotta tighten up. These are your chances to replace you know, Talent Mbata on the pitch, which almost seems like it's going to be so impossible. It's going to be such hefty of a task. Not that he needs replacing. These are all our players, but I'm just saying that, you know, for Ndlondlo, he will want to start games. But yeah, it's going to take tightening up. That one mistake, it's not going to do you good. But another thing I sort of want to touch on, which, I beg your pardon, again, I know we go on and we concede very late after, you know, we've done so well. But something I see the head coach doing, which is another thing you will not have seen from television, is that, you know, the head coach, we're sort of in a defensive situation, we're defending, and I see the head coach barking and shouting at Maswanganyi to say, go cover that back post. You know, Paseka Mako is there, but he's pushing Patrick Maswanganyi to say, you know, you can see that they're making these runs and these extra men trying to get to the the far post of Orlando Pirates. And I bet you that's something they will have watched from Makesi and all of that, and thinking, hey, we can catch these at the back post. But you see the head coach sort of barking at Tito to say, go to that back post. And he's barking at his star player, his number 10, to say, go cover us there. Go cover Paseka Mako there and make sure we've got men in the box. And I love that sort of thing. I actually love it. I love it because it gives you that thing, that assurance that these things that we are venting about and rambling about on these platforms, these guys are actually watching these things. Of course they are. I mean, they've got, where I'm at right now, I see a couple of like Orlando Pirates analysts. They'll be watching the footage. They'll be seeing all of these things better than us, who are just like sort of just watching them once. And on top of that, we are not football geniuses. But yeah, it gives you sort of that assurance that these worries, these concerns that we have are being worked on. And we definitely need that. It makes us feel like, you know what, the cause that we care about, they care about it. And they care about that this thing is a great cause for us. And they want to bring it to us. And yeah, that's all around, that's fantastic. But yeah, you know what, sort of just talking a lot now. I've been talking for 14 minutes straight. I know I've done more than that, but I feel like I'm just talking a lot now. But yeah, I want to go sort of just, you know, enjoy the night like you guys, watch a few things back. Definitely watch that Mohau Nkota goal. But I know I missed a lot. It's hard to do a proper breakdown of the game when I'm here at the stadium and doing it sort of immediate. But yeah, guys, leave a few thoughts that you have. Thank you for the interaction. By the way, yeah, thank you for all the subscribers so far. The channel is growing. And yeah, that's great. I appreciate that. But if you haven't subscribed, please do. Anyway, up the mighty Bucks. Cheers. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video from Talking Buccaneers. If you did, please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all our future content.